Incremental readings. Let's continue with the advantages of incremental reading. Now it's time for the stresslessness. So you can have a stressless learning through incremental reading, which you may think, what is this guy saying? Because yes, I know at the beginning, if you are starting with this course, it won't be stressless, but the opposite. It's just the familiarization phase. But once you get used to Supermemo and incremental reading, you will erase the stress. Let's see how. So first, let's challenge some assumptions. New users think that incremental reading is complex. Complexity is stressful. Even if we assume this is true, it's just temporarily. The complexity is stressful when it's not known. When it's known, it's not stressful. It's complex, yeah, but this complexity doesn't create any stress. And in the long run, incremental reading reduces the stress by managing information overload. So it happens the opposite. It's not that it doesn't add stress, it's that it actually reduces stress. So by taming chaos, we calm the mind. So the link between complexity and stress. So complexity can initially cause confusion. That I open Supermemo and 3,000 menus, 4,000 buttons, a lot of complex wording and jargon, and look at the website in the documentation and wow, massive documents of look at that, many things to check and super long, and all of that feels overwhelming. And this complexity causes confusion. That how is this even meant to work, right? Then, regardless of that, because this is actually the tool is more complex than the actual method, meaning that not Supermemo, but if it was another app implementing incremental reading, it could have been a lot more easy to use, less complex. So Supermemo strategies turn information overload into manageable tasks, and that is the key. So once you know Supermemo of that, and it's just about learning in general, the meta, so the app itself doesn't add anything, this happens that, oh yeah, I have to know that, oh yeah, I have this, I have that, oh, I didn't identify that, oh, what have I read, what I didn't read yet, what in the process, it becomes chaotic. So with incremental reading, that you do prioritize the sources, you chunk that down, all of that, you make this manageable with information overload. Is what do I want to keep, what can be postponed, and if I don't see this anymore, whatever. So the order, the opposite of chaos, emerges when we allow knowledge to find its rightful place. Super poetic. Then, who feels information overload? Information overload often affects knowledge-hungry individuals who fear of missing out. This is to cover in a different video about the fear of missing out, that I am aware of such information that exists and I want to know, but I won't because I have more information that I also want to know and is more relevant. And more and more and more. That even if I spend all of my time, I commit my everything, all of the time I have available in my hands, it's not enough. I will still be missing out. Then, younger learners often face less stress to the less crystallized motivation. Makes sense. Because the more you know you know less. That there's a vast amount of knowledge available. And the more you know, the more likely is that you find something that you want to know more. And you discover something related that you didn't know and Makes sense. So stress visits those who feel bound to know it all. Now. So that will be, let's say, the personality trait that will cause you to feel more stress. And by the way, I am one of those. That I installed Minecraft to play with some people. I have no idea how to play Minecraft. But, oh, okay, what is this? What is that? Oh, what kind of elements there are? what blocks there are. No. It's like this. Then there's something called information fatigue syndrome. And basically, it's going to describe the stress from overwhelming information, way too much information. And because I have too much information, I have information fatigue. Symptoms are anxiety, makes sense, procrastination, I don't want to do it, I postpone it, I want to avoid this problem. Loss of job satisfaction, self-doubt, reduced analytic capacity, and all of that. Because an untamed flow of facts erodes clarity and calm. So this awareness that you see a lot of information and that is perhaps relevant, but it's way too much at the beginning, creates, at least for me, creates a lot of anxiety, right? But there's a solution. Can you guess which one it is? Incremental reading. Then, eliminating the stress of choice. So instead of forcing to read or skip, you simply prioritize. It's as easy as that. So at the end of the day, the concept of incremental reading can be simplified that I import what I want to process. Then when Supermemo shows that to me, I reprioritize based on how important I think today is. I extract what I want, that hey, that's interesting, I want to see it again. And if that is already something that I extracted before, it's hey, I want to memorize this, and I create the close deletion. And perhaps I reprioritize, depending if the priority is significantly different from the source. And this will be shown to me, again, according to the priorities, the intervals, which will be affected from the priorities, and that's it. I will keep telling Supermemo, show me this again. I don't know when, but do your math with priorities and so on. Show me this again. Show me this again. I want more of that. I want to remember this. And because I want to remember this, and that was important, I will see flashcards that I created in the past in a manner that more or less correlates with what I wanted and how much I wanted them by priorities. That's all I do. You cannot overwhelm an incremental reader. I will just have more stuff and process in my collection. That's it. Then, delayed reading is natural, not stressful procrastination. I was guilty of that. That's why I ended up doing like Mercy, this kind of thing. That, hey, man, I'm lagging behind. I want to read all of that, and it's not. And most of my collection, it's not read. And it goes, by percentage, goes even higher and higher. Most of my collection, to put something, 80% of my collection isn't processed. And this will keep growing. Like 85% of my collection hasn't done no single repetition. I imported that, and that's it. Or I make the extract. So I only have the creation, the repetition that creates the element, and that's it. So it's not a stressful procrastination that you should do that and you keep postponing. No. It's a natural thing, like in real life. The difference is that in real life, you will postpone it and forget about it, and in incremental reading, it's in your collection. That's it. Then, when the burden of the decision lifts, learning turns into peaceful exploration. I don't have to worry about anything. Stresslessness. I only do these very few things. I keep prioritizing to tell Supermemo how important it is. I signal Supermemo I want to learn from this by extracting. And I signal to Supermemo I want to remember this by creating a close deletion. That's all I do. In a very high level perspective, it's all I do. And I keep going. And I know that that's the best thing I can do, because as long as I keep priorities, what I will be getting is the maximum applicability first. So, where's the stress? Then, from chaos to order. Imagine clearing a backlog of 1,000 emails becomes easy. You don't go on a stress, or let me go through the inbox, No. Import it and prioritized. Based in this case, because it's email, based on the sender, who is sending this will more or less have an impact on the starting priority. Then about the title or whatever you want. Then no information is lost. It's just postponed. You do it incrementally. Emails could be newsletters, articles to read, tweets, or just textbooks, whatever you want. So, with a map of priorities, every path leads to understanding. Then, it could be the result is calm focus. Could be that for you that's not enough. That you still feel anxiety that, hey, I need to wait for that, which is true. You will succeed. Succeeding is guaranteed. The success is guaranteed, but it's delayed. It's being chunked down. So you need more natural days to achieve that victory. This usually it's because you came from the school system and you have deadlines. If you don't, you learn by yourself, it doesn't matter. You get the most required thing first, the most high priority first. As long as you do this every day, you're already doing the maximum, the best. If you had random priorities, then yes, you're not doing the best you could do. But if you follow the incrementalism, telling what to remember, what to show you again, all of that, you're already doing the best. So it will just, you will get there eventually. That you won't have the solution or that required knowledge before the day, I don't know, the year ends or in whatever deadline you want. And what? This shouldn't create any stress and anxiety because then you will realize that you have taken the best approach already. A good analogy, some sort of a good analogy, let's say that you want to buy something online. And the first thing that you see, you buy instantly without checking any other source. So you don't know if it was the best deal. And perhaps this creates some stress, some anxiety. So imagine that because of incrementalism, you know it was the best deal. That nowhere else you could have gotten this cheaper. So even that, you have spent the same money, you know it was the cheapest choice. Compare this to by instinct, and you don't even know if that was the best deal, right? So going back to incremental reading, you know it's the best. We are not machines, AI, so we need time. You are already doing the best algorithm possible, the best method possible. So why stress on that? You cannot beat that already. Then, with Supermemo handling review schedules, you trust the algorithm, worry about the time and overload fades. You don't worry about the, oh yeah, I have, look at this, 21,000 topics, outstanding. Oh, 19,000 items, outstanding. Oh, can you see my face of worry? No, right? Then, energy shifts from managing chaos to understanding and repetition. And that's what you do. Tell Supermemo, show me this. You read, you understand. If you don't understand, you postpone or take action. Next repetition. Oh yeah, I want to remember that. I do the close deletion. Next repetition. Oh yeah, I have read this before. Next is the second repetition. Let me do next track. There's something that I want to dig further here. Boom. Next repetition. That's all I do. Then, when anxiety recedes, the mind settles into deeper comprehension because you have this stresslessness. The stress will impede you to think, will impede you deep thinking and mental process. So when you are absolutely blank, you have 100% available for you. I will not know it today. I don't know the solution today. I won't be able to solve the problem today. But I know I will. I have the victory settled. I just don't know when will be that day, but it's guaranteed. So I worry. Then, therapeutic benefits of incremental reading. Structured notes, orderly tasks, and prioritized plans all reduce the stress, and you can achieve this within incremental reading. Supermemo applies these therapeutic methods to learning and information handling. So good organization is a smoothing balm for the overloaded mind. Here you go. The synthesis of everything more or less I have said. Smoothing balm. It's unavoidable. Your mind will be overloaded with information. So they don't need to worry about this. What you need to worry is about this. Shutting down. And this is done by good organization. And this is achieved by using Supermemo, by prioritizing and a structure. How you achieve that with concepts and priorities. You use these functionalities, you do the best you can already. As the final word, incremental reading transforms complexity and overload into manageable, prioritized learning. Prioritized learning. If you don't use priorities in Supermemo, I'm sorry, but you're not here. You're not doing stresslessness. And in case you are stressed, could be that one of the factors is that you don't prioritize. And if you start today, it won't come overnight. It will take a while until most of your collection is prioritized. Then, as the stress diminishes, your intellectual potential shines brighter. You have full capacity. All of your mental resources are just on learning and understanding. In the stillness of well-structured learning, understanding blossoms. More or less the same, but more poetical. Let me know if you agree with this. And no worries, nobody intended. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm free of stress. Nothing more to add today, and see you incrementally.